Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and in time for our spooky season, we have a new movie review. Halloween is just right around the corner and we are talking about the return of Pinhead in the new Hellraiser. After years of not great Hellraiser movies, after decades of not great Hellraiser movies, it's finally time for us to have a good entry into the franchise, and 2022's version is exactly that. I was blown away by this Hellraiser film. It's still very formulaic to what we've seen in the past entries. This reminds me a lot of the first three films specifically. Those like straight to video era is not my favorite, and then we have those weird reboot Hellraiser. Yeah, I'm a fan of this franchise, so I've sat through a lot of the BS. So this one really surprised me. I was happy with how it went. Again, you can kind of tell where it's going to go. It's definitely a Hellraiser film. There's the lying, the cheating, the scandals, the gore, all of that is there that you expect. But this was just such a straightforward, such a good adaptation of what the stories usually are. It gets a lot weirder than I expected as well. If you're a fan of the Clive Barker original novel and things like that, if you've seen some of the other movies, you know that this franchise can get a bit strange. Stranger than some hell demons who love pleasure and pain coming to like snatch your soul. It gets even stranger than that. So this dives into those bit of that side of the Hellraiser that we normally don't get to see. This made me excited to see more of these entries, because if this is just the start of it, it is going to be a wild ride in this franchise. I'm happy director David Bruckner is here to do his damn thing. I interviewed him about a year ago or so for the film The Night House, one of the best horror films of last year, and now he's back with one of the best from this year. Hellraiser 2022 does offer a lot of what you love. It doesn't change too many things to really bother you. We'll talk about the female Pinhead and how that's basically a non-issue. It's really good, actually. I like it a lot. So yeah, there's a lot here that just makes you feel familiar, brings you back to why we love the Hellraiser movies, the gore, the chains, the craziness, the very how do I describe it, the very pretentious way Pinhead speaks to people. I love all of that, and I love that it's here. I love the story they presented. I love the acting. This just really made me happy. I haven't seen a Hellraiser movie like this in a while. This is honestly the best entry since the third installment. If you know, you know. They're pretty good, you know, when they're good, and they're really bad when they're bad, but this one is one of those good ones. In Hellraiser 2022, we follow Riley, played by Odessa Faison. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She is a young girl who is suffering from addiction and trying to figure out her place in this world. She's not being very loved and trusted by her friends. Usually that happens with addicts, where you kind of lose all the trust your friends have established, and she's trying to figure out what the hell to do with her life. She gets sent on a mission where she thinks she's gonna either score something big, but what happens is she gets the configuration into her possession, and that changes her life almost instantly. We are seeing the twists and turns that deals with the Cenobite world. Once you get that configuration and start trying to figure out the puzzle box, you are changed forever, and we start seeing the changes. We're seeing Riley try to figure out how to defeat the box, how to figure out the layers of this mystery to save her family and her friends. It's a pretty intense story, but it's also very straightforward. It's the box, it's the girl trying to figure out what's happening, trying to end it before all the Cenobites eat all her friends. Easy, simple plot, and I like it, but there's more layers to it. If you know a Hellraiser movie, you know people are lying, scamming, and cheating, and that's definitely involved here. But we also have the story of a girl trying to figure out the pleasure and the pain and trying to figure out her life, and how the Cenobites kind of offer her a little bit of an insight to some things. I love when Pinhead starts going, I can show you the world. Like, you may not like the world, but I can show you. You think you're getting pleasure from this? I can show you true pleasure, which is mixed with a lot of pain. I love that. And I love that Riley is in a spot in her life where this type of conversation really does affect her. She's kind of getting pulled in different directions. Does she want to go into the addicted, filled world of the box? Or does she want to save her family and save her friends and save herself in the end? I love the conflicting messages here. This movie gave you a lot to think about. Sure, by the end it becomes like a haunted house movie with a bunch of gore, and you're like, how can the Cenobites kill each person, blah blah blah. But for the most part, it's driving you through an adventure. It's making you feel, it's making you think. That's exactly what a Hellraiser film should do. Like, Clive Barker should be proud of this film. His work is getting adapted in such a good way. I'm really happy with how this turned out, with this story, with these characters, with this stuff. And now let's get into why we're really here, and that is the return of Pinhead. Jamie Clayton plays Pinhead. This was originally played by Doug Bradley, and then they had like the rebooted Pinhead, which is not my favorite. I really like Jamie in the role of Pinhead. Now, it seems like Pinhead has a different gender, which for me, it's just the lead Cenobite. It's just the Hell Priest. There is no real gender to, like, interdimensional space hell demons, so I just thought this was a welcome change. And they don't really pause the movie to be like, wow, look, a female Pinhead, isn't this very creative and progressive? Pat us on the back. It's like, no, this ain't woke. I don't know if I want Pinhead to be my LGBT representation, so I wouldn't call this woke. I wouldn't say that they changed the gender of this character for anything controversial or shocking. Pinhead is just a leader of a group, and I love this Pinhead. I think all of the Cenobites are great. Chatter is here, which is the one that scared me the most as a kid. There's some new ones, there's some familiar ones, there's some plays on this other ones, but overall, Pinhead has such a good design on this. You even see Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead, on Twitter expressing how much he loved the new design, the gross neck, the head, the inspirations, but the new twist on it. I love it. And you also see Clive Barker really praise the new designs, the new elements. You're really seeing the people who made Pinhead famous love the new changes. So if you have any problems with it, it's a you problem. They're not disrespecting the source material. They're not offending the men who made this. The men who made this like it. So if you have a problem with it, it's just a you problem. So I don't know. I don't know how you want to feel about it, but yeah, I love what they're doing here. I love that Jamie Clayton, as a trans woman, is getting such a significant horror role. It's really cool. But again, the trans thing is not even there. Pinhead is just an evil force that's just there to open the box and tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. It's a simple character, and I love this. I honestly want to see more of these Cenobites, more of Jamie Clayton as Pinhead. This could be the new generation of it. And again, not in a, let's change it to disrespect or change it. It's just a new, younger actor to play this character, and she did such a good job. I love the horror aspects. We also get to see a Cenobite made in this movie. No spoilers, but wow, it gets graphic. The movie's pretty gory up until the point, but when we get to see this transformation, it is shocking. It reminds me of like the 2008 film Martyrs, of how just intense it feels. It's such a good moment. The Cenobites are great. The gore is great. It's exactly what you want from Hellraiser. If you're not here for the plot, if you're here for Pinhead and the Cenobites and the gore, you will not be disappointed. Hulu and all that really let this one go, and David Bruckner knew exactly what we wanted as Hellraiser fans and delivered that. All right, everyone, that is it for my review of Hellraiser 2022. I love this movie. This was one of my favorite horror films of the year. It's gory, it's fun, there's twists and turns, there's really good characters, there's a lot of good moments, and a new Pinhead that is just so damn stellar. What did you guys think of this review? What do you guys think of Hellraiser, the new one? Are you a fan? Are you a fan of the franchise, actually? Share your favorite Hellraiser movie down in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to Flickering Myth and give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy. All right, everyone, let's talk about Hellraiser right down there.